The Hornets, 36.5, Robbie.
Can I throw a fake trade at you here? Just off rip that I've been just mulling over in my head and need a platform for.
Oh God. Oh, here we go.
So here's my thought. We've been trying to ship this Miles Turner business to Charlotte for years now, just as a collective of NBA Twitter, right? It's not happening. We need to move on. However, it doesn't mean we can't get Miles Turner involved in a trade that sends somebody to Charlotte. Okay? Here's what I'm thinking. Gordon Hayward goes to Indy. And there's other pieces that are going to have to go into this, picks and everything. I'm an idea man. I don't finish the drill. Okay. This is where the general manager, this is where Kevin Pritchard and them, they get paid. Mitch Cup, they get paid the big bucks for this.
Sure.
Hayward goes to Indiana. The Pacers get their reason for fans to buy tickets, right? Miles Turner goes to Chicago, who needs more defensive presence on the inside, needs less of a post scorer because you have DeMar DeRozan. You don't need Vucevic taking post touches. And you send Vucevic to Charlotte, where they get more interior scoring, which they need with Miles Bridges gone. I think we fixed some problems with everybody here. Now, obviously, I think there's more pieces and stuff. I think Charlotte probably would like a little more coming back in this. Indiana would like a pick from somebody. But I think we fixed some issues that Chicago has with their roster because Vucevic and DeRozan just butt heads too much on where they want to be on the floor. Turner can space the floor in a way that Vucevic also does, but you're kind of wasting Vucevic if he's just a spot-up guy and he doesn't feel involved. Like he's a guy that needs post touches. But DeMar DeRozan's better at that than him, or you want DeMar on the ball more. So you get Miles Turner there. They get a rim protector, which they don't really have right now. Pair him with the Paul on the wing. You got some good defense. You got some mojo going. Lonzo on the perimeter. Caruso. I like what we do for Chicago there. Indiana, you keep building some picks. I don't know who. Somebody, probably Chicago, ends up sending a lotto protected first in this thing. And then Vucevic goes to Charlotte, and you just kind of embrace being a good offensive team, but you take some of that burden off Alonzo because he can create in the post. Anyway, that is the trade that should happen.
This is staggering, but this trade actually works via the trade machine.
Look at me. I came up with this in the shower 2 nights ago. Why am I thinking about this in the shower? Can't tell you, but
I have no idea how you did this, but you did do it.
I think it makes sense for a lot of parties.
So I think the Pacers would want something.
No,
I don't know how much value. I don't.
Picks. I think they get a pick from Chicago and maybe a second from Charlotte.
I don't think Charlotte gets better here because Gordon Hayward actually becomes important because of the Miles Bridges thing.
I understand that, but I think it changes a little bit of the dynamic, and you can just go ahead and start shifting towards younger. I don't know. I'm an idea man here. I think Chicago definitely comes out ahead on this, which maybe I should post this in the Bulls section.
Maybe it's instead of Hayward, maybe it's
do you want to give up because the money wise you have to, it's got to be, unless it's Terry and PJ, which they might think is too much.
You can do Oubre too, can't you?
I always forget about him.
Yeah, you can do Oubre and PJ or something to Indiana maybe, but I
don't know. I'm percolating.
Yeah, well, here, what if it's Oubre and PJ Washington to Indiana?
Yeah, I like that. I just know Indiana's been in the Gordon Hayward sweepstakes forever. So I'm not sure if they just want to sell some tickets this year.
So Indiana gets Oubre, Washington, maybe a pick for Miles Turner.
I think a pick for Turner. I think not a good pick, but a Chicago lotto protected something, maybe a couple seconds. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know what the value of a first round pick is anymore after this offseason. I am completely lost. DeJounte Murray got 3. Rudy and Donovan are getting 5. Lost. I can't tell you what the value of a first round pick is anymore. The dollar is plummeting. We are in a recession in the draft pick economy. And
draft pick economy,
we're losing our minds, and we need to go. I mean, the gold standard needs to come back. Is basically what I'm saying.
I don't know that this works for what it's worth. I'm like semi-intrigued.
I don't know. I'm just throwing something around. I feel like we need to shake things up.
I will say I like the idea of Vucevic to Charlotte.
I think it works
because they do need more shot creation, and they need
helps LaMelo out.
They also need defense, and like.
Well, but here's the thing. But you're not going to get somebody that fixes all. That's why we've been trying to get Miles Turner there forever. But clearly, that's not happening. This is my thing. We keep trying to get Miles Turner to Charlotte because we're like, look, he protects the rim. Like, isn't that what you need? And they keep going, no. And so I'm trying to come up with something else. We've been trying for years. How many years have I heard Miles Turner to Charlotte rumors? At least 2 or 3. I'm tired of it. We're going to get Vooch down there. We get him back to the Southeast Division. I think that revitalizes him a little bit. I think he needs to be in a place where he can demand some touches. I think it's good for everybody.
So this is all hypothetical. The roster as it currently sits in Charlotte, I am not enthused.
No, it's not. It's not good. This is an under.
So
on 36.5, I got us derailed off the start here.
So like they finished 23rd in defense last year. They hire Steve Clifford in the hopes to fix their defense. I just don't know how that's going to work, I guess is where I'm at. Like,
no, I mean, here's the thing.
To me, it's a personnel problem. And like, look, Clifford has always been good at like getting the most out of whatever personnel he has, but like,
no,
I don't see the personnel on this roster to
look, you lost your second best player for nothing because he did despicable things. Like that's that's the thing.
Allegedly.
Sure.
Let's make sure and cover our ass. But like,
there's
a lot of evidence of it out there, and it's
there's a reason he's not signed.
So there's a reason he's not signed. It's gross, and let's just speak through about
so that. But that's the thing is like, if you lose your second best player, and there was like all-star buzz about him last year. Like you lose your second best player for absolutely nothing. Like you're just gonna struggle, and they were already a team that didn't have the margins for this. They were already a thin team, particularly at secondary scoring creation. Like you said, like I think there's a chance that they sell off some stuff. I don't think they want to, but I think they're in a position now where they kind of have to consider it. I don't think they ever want to. I just
don't know where this team is going. Like,
and they were going to build around LaMelo and Bridges, and now you can't do that. And I really don't know where the pivot is. Like, I just don't, but I think it has to involve you start shopping stuff like that. And maybe that's the idea of if you want to try to be competitive, that's the trade idea. But there are trades out there where that's not the case, where you're moving Hayward or you're moving Rozier to somebody who needs a ball handler, looking for a 6-man type. That's a contender and wants to move a pick for him. Like there's moves they can make to get considerably worse. I don't think they want to, because the idea, like the thing is, like LaMelo is not the type of guy that you want to put through a rebuild, right? Like that's just, it's not going to go over necessarily well. But like, I don't know where they go that you don't. Like it's such a miserable position to find yourself in as an organization, to think that you're on this trajectory and have it completely derailed. And I don't think they know, which is why I think they've been stagnant this offseason.
I certainly don't know where they go, but just like looking at this roster,
it's not good.
The issue I come back to is I have no idea where they get secondary scoring from. Like Terry Rozier is a good scorer. Gordon Hayward is a good like secondary ball handler, can average, 15 to 18 points a game, let's say. LaMelo is obviously going to be like a 27-7 guy like he was last year. Maybe he improves a little bit and gets a little bit better. But like you're relying a lot on Kelly Oubre, maybe like for shot creation. He averaged 15 a game last year. Behind him, I don't know where the scoring depth comes from, unless James Bouknight is much better than what we saw last year or didn't see last year, given that he barely played, which to me like kind of says something.
Yes.
Charlotte just drafted Mark Williams, so like I don't even know that they're in the market for like a long-term answer at the center position. Like they might see Mark Williams as their long-term answer.
How about a team that's drafted a center in the first round like every year for 5 years? Love that.
I mean, it's been like Mark Williams and Kai Jones and
Keep swinging.
They took Nick Richards and Vernon Carey in the second round and gave them guaranteed picks. And PJ Washington like plays minutes at center, right? So like,
no, they just keep drafting them. It's kind of funny, honestly, in like in a tragic way.
A little bit tragic, I think. But like, yeah, I'm skeptical of where this entire thing goes. I guess.
I think
to me it's an under.
I lean under. It's a big drop. Like they won 43 last year, which kind of surprised me.
And new coach, like, but the new defensive-minded coach that look like Clifford's an incredible defensive mind, but like his teams weren't that creative offensively, and like LaMelo like thrives on that like open court creativity. I don't know. I'm not enthused about this. It's just roster, I guess.
It's like I said, like it's just a bad situation. Like it's a bad situation it was already like murky, and then you literally take the second best player away. Like it's just, I don't know what you even say about it other than like it's a lean under, but I don't want to. I just don't want to play anything on it, but I definitely wouldn't invest in the optimistic view on them.
Yeah, no.
LaMelo rocks. Like I love watching LaMelo Ball play basketball.
Yeah.